Good morning. For all my friends living in Florida today, it's a little bit cooler today than it was last week. And so I figured for today's project and today's prep, I'm going to make some chicken soup, some vegetable soup, some green soup. And it's just good for warm weather. Uh, it's good for your body. Good for warm weather. It's good for cold weather. Good for your body. It's cold and flu season. Some good soup to energize the body, warm us up, and just feel good. So let me get everything laid out here. I'll show you the ingredients and I'll show you how I put this together. Some fall soup, green soup. In Italian they call it soupa verde. So absolutely delicious. Let's see what we got. Okay, so for this soup I'm going to be using some zucchini spirals. You can use fresh zucchini, but I had this frozen in the freezer. 2 carbs, 1 fiber. So this is 8 servings, but this is going to be a big bowl of soup for my whole family, and it probably will be 8 servings. I don't think I'm going to eat that much by myself. I got some asparagus because I had it in the freezer. Once again, 3 carbs, 1 fiber, 2 net. 3 servings. And here we go. Green beans, 5 carbs, 2 fiber, and 3.5 servings. But like I said, this is going to be at least 8 servings. And it's quite a bit more vegetables, but it's green soup. So I'm going to use leftover chicken thighs from bone broth. So I made my bone broth the other day and I saved the chicken thighs in the refrigerator, and all I'm going to do is take this chicken, shred it up at the end once everything is cooked, and have little chicken chunks. I'm using unsalted chicken broth. You don't have to use unsalted, it's just what I happen to grab. 4 servings, 4 carbs. Alright, and then because I made bone broth, I have a nice quart of bone broth. It's like jelly. So bone broth, chicken broth. For seasonings, I'm going to do some Italian seasoning, probably a tablespoon of this. And I will add this at the very beginning. And then I add 1 bouillon cube, which you can see doesn't really contain any carbohydrate. It's really just salt. And so we're going to add this just for the saltiness and the chickeny flavor of the bouillon cube. And then at the very end, for finishing it, I'm going to add a tablespoon of pesto. This is for the very, very end. And this gives it that Italian flavor. Now, there are a lot of carbs in this, and that is for a 1/4 cup. We are not using a 1/4 cup of this. I probably used 1 tablespoon. So, tablespoon of that at the very end just for that Italian flavor. So what I'm going to do now is just go ahead. There's no setup for this. The broth goes right into the pot, followed by the vegetables, right into the pot. And the only thing that I am going to do is I'm going to microwave these zucchini noodles for a minute and drain the liquid off of them, because they just have that frozen vegetable. They have a lot of wateriness, and I just don't want that extra wateriness in my soup. So I will microwave these for a few minutes and then drain all the water off on some paper towels. And then the broth and the vegetables go into the soup to boil for probably about, I would say about 45 minutes. I'm going to cook these vegetables. Even though they're frozen, I want the Italian seasoning, and I want the liquid to thicken, and I want the vegetables to kind of take up the flavors of the broth and everything to kind of harmonize. So 30-45 minutes, and then I'll cut up the chicken and add it in, and we'll show you what a plate looks like when it's done. The bouillon cube I don't add until everything is cooked, and the pesto I don't add until everything is cooked. And the chicken I don't add until the very end, because I want the chicken to stay in nice chunks and not just be, particles of chicken. I don't want it to cook anymore. This I add at the very beginning because it's dry. If they were fresh herbs, I would add them later. But dry herbs, they got to cook for a while to soften and taste good. And probably just a tablespoon at that. All right, we'll get it set up and we'll see what it looks like when it's done. Figured I'd take a second to show you how much liquid you get when you microwave that zucchini noodles when they're frozen. So I really don't want all that wateriness. So we're going to drain all that off of there and press it all out on some paper towels so that that doesn't go in our soup. That's the difference between having nice chicken flavored soup and having watery soup. I'm also cooking the soup with the lid on because that's only 2 quarts of water and I didn't add any additional water. Or 2 quarts of broth, I should say, bone broth and chicken broth. I don't want to lose any of that liquid, so I've got it on the stove with the lid on. All right, we'll see you back in a few. And for those of you that are curious and want to know, well, what if I want some noodles in it? What can I do for noodles? You know, spiralized zucchini, that's going to boil down. That's not really noodles. The palmini makes hearts of palm linguine. I haven't really used this one yet, but it's low in carbs. 4 grams of carbohydrate, 2 grams of fiber, 3 servings. And it's palm hearts. I mean, no, does it taste great? I can't really attest for it because I haven't really used it. These I have used. These are konjac noodle fettuccine. I call it skinny pasta. It doesn't have to be refrigerated. And you can see 5 carbs, 5 fiber. The only thing I recommend with this is you rinse it thoroughly. Like I rinse this several times in warm water before I throw it in the soup. But these are great noodles, and I really love this for Asian dishes like noodle stir fries and pad thai, and even you can saute chicken and noodles and stuff. But if you wanted some noodles in your soup, there's 2 quick options for you that don't require a whole lot and work out pretty well. So the soup has cooked nicely. The vegetables are all nice and done. They're soft. So now I'm going to add the pesto. I'm going to add the chicken in chunks. And then I'm going to kind of just turn it off and let it set. You don't really need to cook the chicken anymore. I don't want the chicken to fall apart. So bouillon cube, tablespoon of pesto, and the chicken. And then I'm just going to put the lid back on and let it stay warm until it's time to eat. I'm excited. And just like that, there you have it. A little bit of green soup. Looks super good for, cold days, muggy days, days when you just don't feel good. And I'm having mine with the low carb grilled cheese. And you can see that recipe in the What About Bread video. So green soup. I'm going to add a little Parmesan cheese to this on top. So chicken, little leftover chicken, zucchini, asparagus, and green beans. Fantastic. And grilled cheese. Who could ask for more? Love every minute. Live it while you're in it. God bless each and every one of you. Hope you have a great day. See you in the next video.